neighbor countries, terminologies are different because the count for rare diseases are different. That's why WHO has fixed a particular guidelines and policies and definitions for rare diseases. So many, over time, the main reason behind this confusion of terminology is the population is not going to be constant throughout 10 years before, 10 years later, and present conditions. Am I right? This is going to change. Accordingly, the terminology will differ and the count of rare diseases will differ. There are three important factors which are mainly depending on this terminology confusion. Number one, location. One part of the world, in one country, some disease may be rare. That disease may be very common in another country. So in such cases, again terminology confusion comes. Do you understand what I am trying to say? Do you understand or not? Location. In one country, if the disease is very commonly occurring, and in some countries, it may be very rare condition. For example, malaria. In India, malaria is very common. In some countries, Western countries, if you see, the number of malaria cases will be very, very, very less. And they don't manufacture anti-malarial drug also, some countries. And of course, the drug goes from India. Second, level of rarity. What do you mean by level of rarity? In the definition we saw, some countries maintain, they say rare disease as 1 in 10,000. Some countries say 10 in 10,000. Just see the difference. Where is 1 in 10,000 and 10 in 10,000? So much variation even in the definitions. Am I right or wrong? So this is level of rarity is also one of the important factor. Next is studyability. Sometimes if we identify that it is a rare disease, and there should be some possibilities to go ahead with R&D and for making a new drug. But some cases it is not possible. Rare procedures may not. By Government of India, National Registry for Rare Diseases, ICMR is taking care of this. Completely blank towards a particular disease. Definitely we don't have any procedure, we will not be having any test kits or diagnostic procedures for identifying or confirmation of a particular disorder. Okay, so there is lack of awareness. This is the main problem, lack of awareness about a rare disease in the public. There are many people doesn't know whether the person is suffering from a rare disease or not. Not only the public, even the doctors, researchers, everybody doesn't know. They don't have any backup idea about a rare disease. So these are the common problems. Another problem is misdiagnosis. What do you mean by misdiagnosis? This is the first case which I told you in the first slide. I was talking about my friend Vijayawada, radial tunnel syndrome. Misdiagnosis. Sometimes what happens? Wrong treatment will be given to the patient. So ultimately, the patient will suffer. So this is what happening in many cases. Okay. So while at the time of diagnosis, all these problems will raise. Immediate need to create awareness among the public, families of people who are suffering from rare diseases, and the doctors are very, very important, and all these must be implemented immediately. Okay, next slide. Challenges. What are the challenges we are facing in the research and development of rare diseases? Okay, fine. ఇన్ని కష్టాలు ఉన్నాయని చెప్తున్నారు కదా, R&D ఇంప్రూవ్ చేయొచ్చు కదా అని అడగొచ్చు మీరు. అది ఇంప్లిమెంట్ చేయాలంటే there are some challenges in India and of course in abroad also, in every country. Okay, less information is available about the pathophysiology, nature of a disease. Okay, we are completely blank towards any kind of rare diseases which was identified recently. Okay, and inadequate clinical experience. దాన్ని టెస్ట్ చేయాలంటే కూడా we can't do it because there is no test procedures available. Okay, randomly some tests are carried out and it is diagnosed and something is identified, and we are not sure that whether what we have identified is